Listen, what's happening with Sophie Cunningham right now is absolutely insane. The Indiana Fever have the best shooter in the entire WNBA, shooting 45.5% from three-point range, and she's getting completely ignored on the court. But before we dive into this mess, if you're new here and love WNBA content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're covering everything Fever this season. The Indiana Fever are sitting at 18-15 right now, and here's what's driving fans absolutely crazy. Sophie Cunningham, who just got traded here from Phoenix in January, is literally having the best shooting season of any player in the league. I'm not exaggerating. 45.5% from three. That's better than anyone else in the WNBA right now, and yet she's standing wide open on the perimeter, waving her arms, and her teammates are looking her off like she doesn't even exist. Let me paint you a picture of what happened against Washington on Thursday night. Fourth quarter, Fever down by 4. Sophie Cunningham is standing in the corner, completely alone. Not a single defender within 10 feet of her. Kelsey Mitchell has the ball at the top of the key. Does she pass it to the best shooter in the league who's wide open? Nope, she takes a contested 18-footer that clanks off the rim. This isn't a one-time thing. This is happening every single game. The numbers are shocking when you actually break them down. In the last 10 games, Sophie Cunningham has taken only 6.3 shot attempts per game. 6.3. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell is throwing up 16 shots a game, shooting 38% from the field. Odyssey Sims, she's airballing threes and still getting more touches than Sophie. It's like watching someone ignore a wide open Steph Curry to pass to a covered Russell Westbrook. And here's where it gets really interesting. Since Sophie joined the Fever, she's become this team's enforcer. Remember that game against Connecticut back in June when JC Sheldon poked Caitlin Clark in the eye? Sophie didn't just stand there. She grabbed Sheldon and made it clear that nobody messes with her teammates. That moment went viral. Sophie gained nearly 1 million followers on social media overnight. The fans absolutely love her. She's got this black belt in Taekwondo. She's fearless, and she's exactly what this team needed. But being the enforcer doesn't mean anything if your teammates won't pass you the ball when you're open. And this is where Stephanie White's coaching comes into question. Look, I'm not saying Stephanie White is a bad coach. She took Connecticut to back-to-back semifinals. She won Coach of the Year, and in 2023, she knows basketball. But there's something fundamentally broken with this Fever offense, and it's been going on for half the season now. When Stephanie White took over this team, she inherited a roster with 2 back-to-back Rookies of the Year in Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. She's got Kelsey Mitchell, who just signed a Supermax core contract, and then she gets Sophie Cunningham in that blockbuster 4-team trade. On paper, this should be one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. In reality, they're playing like a pickup team at the YMCA where everyone's trying to get their own stats. The problem is simple but infuriating. This Fever team doesn't move the ball side to side. Watch any other successful WNBA team. The Liberty, the Aces, even the Mercury. The ball swings from one side of the court to the other. Players make the extra pass. They look for the best shot, not just any shot. But Indiana, they play what I call am I open basketball. If a player catches the ball and they have even a sliver of daylight, they're shooting. Doesn't matter if Sophie Cunningham is wide open in the corner. Doesn't matter if there's a better option. Am I open? Yes, then I'm shooting. This philosophy is killing them in close games. Against Dallas on Tuesday, they lost 81-80. In the final 5 minutes, Sophie Cunningham touched the ball exactly twice. The best shooter in the league in crunch time gets 2 touches. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell went 3 for 11 in that game, but kept getting the ball in isolation plays down the stretch. Let's talk about Kelsey Mitchell for a second because this is a huge part of the problem. When Caitlin Clark is on the court, Kelsey Mitchell is a completely different player. She moves without the ball, she cuts to the basket, she takes smart shots. With Caitlin, she's averaging 22 points on 46% shooting. Without Caitlin, she drops to 15 points on 38% shooting. That's not just a small dip, that's falling off a cliff. And Caitlin's been injured a lot this season. She missed games with a quad strain in May, then a groin injury in July. She's played in only 23 of 33 games. Every time she's out, the offense falls apart, and instead of adjusting the system to get their best shooter more shots, they just give Kelsey Mitchell the green light to chuck up contested jumpers. But here's what really makes my blood boil. During that viral Commissioner's Cup Cup run where they actually won the whole thing, beating Minnesota 74-59 in the final, you know what they did differently? They moved the ball. Sophie was getting touches, the ball was swinging side to side, and they looked like an actual basketball team. Then as soon as the regular season resumed, they went right back to their old habits. The coaching staff has to see this, right? Austin Kelly filled in for Stephanie White twice this season when she was out for personal reasons. Did anything change? Nope. Same isolation heavy offense, same ignoring of Sophie Cunningham. It's like they have this predetermined hierarchy where certain players get to shoot no matter what, and others have to wait their turn even when they're on fire. I was watching the film from their blowout loss to Phoenix last week, 95-60, an absolute embarrassment. Sophie Cunningham was 2 for 3 from three-point range in the first quarter. She didn't get another three-point attempt the entire game. How does that happen? How does your best shooter make 2 out of 3 threes and then not get another look from deep? The answer is simple, and it's been the same all season. Nobody looks for her. I've counted at least 15 possessions per game where Sophie is open and nobody even glances in her direction. She started taking transition threes just to get shots up because she knows once they get into their half-court offense, she's basically a decoy. And what has Stephanie White done about this? Absolutely nothing. In fact, the only player she's ever publicly called out for not passing enough is Caitlin Clark. Remember that Liberty game where Caitlin went off for 35 points? Stephanie White used the entire press conference to say Caitlin should have passed more. Then she subbed Caitlin out during the game as a learning experience. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell can go 5 for 20 with 0 assists and not hear a word about it. This double standard is insane. Caitlin Clark leads the entire WNBA in assists when she's healthy. She's literally the best passer in the league, and she's the one getting criticized for not passing enough, while players who never pass are getting praised for their aggressive mindset? Make it make sense. The worst part is Sophie Cunningham has been nothing but professional about this whole situation. In her interviews, she talks about doing whatever the team needs, playing defense, being ready when her number is called. She's not complaining to the media, she's not causing locker room drama. She's just out there, game after game, standing in the corner watching her teammates take bad shots while she's wide open. But the fans see it. Oh boy, do the fans see it. Every Fever game thread is filled with people screaming pass to Sophie, and she's open again. There are compilation videos on social media showing Sophie standing alone while her teammates force up contested shots. It's become a meme at this point, but it's a meme born out of genuine frustration. The thing is, this isn't just about Sophie not getting her shots, it's about winning basketball games. The Fever are 18-15 right now. They're fighting for playoff positioning. Every game matters, and they're leaving wins on the table because they won't utilize their best shooter. How many of those 15 losses could have been wins if Sophie was getting 10 to 12 shots per game instead of 6? Look at what happened in that Commissioner's Cup final. Sophie played 28 minutes, took 9 shots, made 4 of them including 2 threes. The Fever won by 15. That's not a coincidence. When she's involved in the offense, when the ball moves, when they play like a team, they're really good. When they revert to isolation basketball and hero ball, they're mediocre at best. I went back and watched every Fever game from the last month. You know what I found? In games where Sophie takes 8 or more shots, the Fever are 7-2. In games where she takes less than 8 shots, they're 4-8. The correlation is right there in black and white. Use your best shooter, win games. Ignore your best shooter, lose games. It's not rocket science, but apparently it's too complicated for this coaching staff to figure out. Stephanie White has been in the WNBA for years. She played at the highest level. She won a championship as an assistant coach with the Fever back in 2012. She knows what good offense looks like, so why isn't she implementing it? My theory, she's too worried about managing egos. Kelsey Mitchell just signed that Supermax deal. She's been with the franchise for 8 years. She's their second leading scorer all time. Maybe Stephanie White doesn't want to ruffle feathers by telling Kelsey to take fewer shots and pass to Sophie more. But that's what coaching is. You have to make the tough decisions that help the team win, even if it means hurting someone's feelings. The irony is that involving Sophie more would actually help Kelsey Mitchell. Right now, defenses know that Kelsey is going to shoot no matter what. They can load up on her, play her tight, force her into tough shots. But if they had to respect Sophie as a consistent threat, it would open up driving lanes for Kelsey. It would give her better looks. Her efficiency would go up. Everyone would benefit. This reminds me of what happened with the Golden State Warriors back in 2015. Before Steve Kerr got there, Mark Jackson had them playing isolation basketball. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were good, but they weren't maximizing their potential. Then Kerr comes in, implements a motion offense, gets everyone involved, and suddenly they're a dynasty. The Fever have similar shooting talent. They just need someone to unlock it. The saddest part about all of this is that Sophie Cunningham chose to be here. She was happy in Phoenix. She had a good thing going. She was even working as an analyst for the Phoenix Suns. But when the opportunity came to join the Fever, to play with Caitlin Clark, to be part of something special, she took it. She said in an interview last week that she's way happier in Indiana than she ever was in Phoenix. The fans love her. She loves the fans. Everything should be perfect. But instead, she's standing in the corner watching bad basketball. She's become a $30,000 per year cheerleader. That's not what she signed up for. That's not what the Fever traded for. They gave up Nalissa Smith and the number 8 pick to get Sophie. They clearly valued her, so why aren't they using her? I think the answer goes deeper than just basketball. This is about organizational culture. The Fever have been bad for a long time. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, they hadn't made the playoffs since 2016. They've developed bad habits. They've accepted mediocrity. And even with all this new talent, those old habits are hard to break. Stephanie White is trying to change the culture. I get that. But you can't change culture while accepting the same behavior that created the problems in the first place. If players aren't making the right basketball play, you have to call them out. You have to bench them. You have to show that winning is more important than individual statistics. Right now, the message being sent is clear. Certain players can do whatever they want. They can shoot whenever they want. They can ignore open teammates, and there will be no consequences. Meanwhile, other players, even if they're shooting better than anyone else in the league, have to wait their turn and hope someone remembers they exist. This can't continue. The Fever have too much talent to be playing this way. They have Caitlin Clark, who when healthy is already one of the best players in the league as a rookie. They have Aaliyah Boston, who's developing into an elite big. They have Kelsey Mitchell, who can be a great scorer when she's playing within the system. And they have Sophie Cunningham, the best shooter in the WNBA right now. That's a championship caliber core, but not if they're gonna play selfish basketball, not if they're going to ignore their best shooter, not if the coaching staff is gonna let it happen game after game without making adjustments. I keep thinking about that moment when Sophie defended Caitlin against Connecticut. She didn't hesitate. She saw her teammate getting messed with, and she immediately stepped in. She got fined, she got ejected, but she didn't care. That's the kind of player you want on your team. Someone who puts the team first, who has your back, who does the dirty work. And how does the team repay that loyalty? By freezing her out of the offense, by acting like she's invisible when she's wide open, by making her watch while they play schoolyard basketball. It's disrespectful. It's bad basketball, and it's gonna cost them in the playoffs if they don't fix it. Because make no mistake, the playoffs are coming. The Fever are gonna make it. They're too talented not to. But what happens when they face the Liberty or the Aces in a 7-game series? You think they're gonna win playing isolation basketball? You think they're gonna beat championship teams by ignoring their best shooter? The Liberty have 3 players shooting over 40% from 3. They move the ball. They find the open player. They play team basketball. Same with the Aces. Same with every good team in this league. If the Fever want to compete with them, they need to start playing the right way. And that starts with getting Sophie Cunningham involved. Here's what needs to happen. Tomorrow at practice, Stephanie White needs to sit everyone down and show them the film. Show them Sophie standing open. Show them the bad shots being taken instead. Make it clear that this is unacceptable. Then run plays specifically designed to get Sophie shots. Pin downs, flare screens, elevator doors, whatever it takes. Make it a point of emphasis that when Sophie is open, she gets the ball, period. If players don't follow through, bench them. I don't care if it's Kelsey Mitchell or Odyssey Sims or anyone else. You don't make the extra pass to the open shooter. You sit. You take a contested shot when Sophie is open, you sit. Make it clear that team basketball is non-negotiable. And for the love of basketball, please stop this "am I open? Then I shoot" mentality. Teach them to think, am I open? Is someone more open? Who has the best shot? It's basic basketball IQ, but apparently it needs to be retaught. The crazy thing is, I think the players would actually embrace this. Deep down, they know what they're doing isn't working. They see the losses piling up when they play selfish. They feel the frustration when the offense stagnates. They just need someone to hold them accountable and show them a better way. Sophie Cunningham could be the key to unlocking this team's potential. She spaces the floor like no one else on the roster. She's clutching big moments. She plays tough defense. She brings energy and toughness. She's literally everything you want in a role player, except she's being forced into a role where she barely touches the ball. Imagine if Sophie was taking 12 to 15 shots per game. At her current percentage, that's 5 to 7 made threes per game. That's 15 to 21 points just from three-point range. Add in some drives, some free throws, and you're looking at a consistent 20-point scorer who's incredibly efficient. That changes everything for this team. It opens up the paint for Aaliyah Boston. It gives Caitlin Clark more space to operate. It forces defenses to extend further, creating driving lanes for Kelsey Mitchell. It makes everyone's job easier. But instead, defenses can basically ignore Sophie because they know she's not getting the ball anyway. I've been covering the WNBA for years, and I've never seen anything quite like this. A player shooting 45% from three, clearly the best shooter on the team, and arguably in the league, being systematically ignored by her teammates. It's basketball malpractice. The thing that really gets me is that Sophie isn't even asking for special treatment. She's not demanding plays be run for her. She's not complaining to the media. She's just out there, ready to help her team win, and they won't let her. It's like having a Ferrari in your garage and choosing to drive a Honda Civic to the racetrack. But here's the thing about Sophie Cunningham. She's not just a shooter. When she played at Missouri, she was their everything. She averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists over her college career. She can handle the ball. She can create for others. She has a complete game. But with the Fever, she's been relegated to standing in the corner hoping someone remembers she exists. The fans deserve better. They're showing up in record numbers. The Fever are averaging over 17,000 fans per game, leading the league in attendance. These people aren't coming to watch isolation basketball and ignored open shooters. They're coming to watch good basketball, team basketball, winning basketball. And Caitlin Clark deserves better too. She's trying to lead this team, trying to get everyone involved, and she's watching her teammates ignore the best shooter on the roster. How frustrating must that be? You're the point guard. You're supposed to orchestrate the offense, but half your teammates are playing like they're in a game of 21 at the park. The solution is simple. It's so simple, it's painful. Pass the ball to Sophie Cunningham when she's open. Run plays for her. Make her a focal point of the offense instead of an afterthought. It's not complicated. It's not revolutionary. It's just good basketball. But will it happen? That's the million-dollar question. Will Stephanie White finally address this issue? Will she hold players accountable for not making the right play? Will she implement an offense that actually utilizes all their weapons? Or will they continue down this path of mediocrity, wasting the talent they have? The clock is ticking. The playoffs are coming. Other teams are getting better. The Liberty just added another shooter. The Aces are getting healthy. The Storm are peaking at the right time. If the Fever want to make noise in the playoffs, if they want to be more than just a first-round exit, they need to figure this out now. Sophie Cunningham is ready. She's been ready all season. She's in the best shape of her life, shooting the best she's ever shot, and completely bought into the team concept. All she needs is the opportunity. All she needs is her teammates to see her when she's open. All she needs is basic basketball common sense. The ball finds energy, they say. Well, Sophie Cunningham has been bringing energy all season. She's been the enforcer, the tough guy, the one who stands up for her teammates. Now it's time for her teammates to stand up for her. It's time for them to give her the ball when she's open. It's time for them to play winning basketball. This isn't about individual glory. This isn't about getting Sophie her points. This is about maximizing the talent on this roster. This is about playing the right way. This is about winning games and competing for championships. And that starts with recognizing that when you have the best shooter in the league on your team, you should probably pass her the ball when she's open. The Fever have a chance to be special. They have a generational talent in Caitlin Clark. They have an elite defensive anchor in Aaliyah Boston. They have a proven scorer in Kelsey Mitchell. And they have the best shooter in the league in Sophie Cunningham. That's a recipe for success, but only if they're willing to play team basketball. Only if they're willing to make the extra pass. Only if they're willing to put winning above individual statistics. So here's my message to Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever. Fix this. Fix it now, before it's too late, before you waste another season, before you lose in the first round of the playoffs because you couldn't figure out how to get your best shooter involved in the offense. The solution is right there in front of you. Sophie Cunningham is right there, standing in the corner, wide open, ready to help you win. All you have to do is pass her the damn ball. Before we wrap up, what do you think needs to happen? Should Stephanie White be calling out players who don't pass to Sophie? Sophie? Should there be consequences? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Fever content. We're covering every game, every controversy, and every development as this team fights for a playoff spot. Thanks for watching, and remember, pass the ball to the open shooter. It's not that hard.